It's terrible.
Why do black people like menthol so much? What's that about?
I just talk about the stuff that unfortunately people want to talk about. I had to turn off my Twitter because everyone's like, "You're jealous. What do you think of Anthony at ABC? You're jealous. We need a wellness check on Hope. I hope that his windows are sealed." It's what I don't compete with the guy. I laughed. I mean, I laughed for real because AM radio stinks. Just stinks. But also, I mean, all right, I'll give you one fair point. I mean, how Anthony leans politically, and he likes talking about the politics. I hate talking about the politics. I do it in broad strokes. Going on a political AM station. I guess there's some excitement there for him. The one thing when I was, it said I banned you, bro. Oh, okay, I didn't want to ban you. Opie and Anthony are back on WABC Radio. What's up, Opster? What's up? Ant said he might get a chance to interview Trump at ABC. What do you think? That'd be absolutely amazing. I don't compete with Anthony. I would wish him well, but you know what? F Anthony. Last time I wished him well, everything was going smoothly. Wrote back. He wished me and my family a Merry Christmas. He said in the text, I could show it again. It's so good we're not taking shots at each other. And then next thing you know, he turned around and quickly and started taking shots at me again. So I'm not going to wish him well. I just hope that now that he's on, I mean, all kidding aside, I think going to AM radio is kind of stupid and bogus, considering where the world is with podcasting and satellite radio still king, and FM, which is kind of falling apart, is above AM radio. The fact is, he'll be talking to a lot more people than me, and if it helps stroke his stupid ego, my thought is if it strokes his ego enough, he'll leave me the F alone finally. So that's what I have to say about that. But I'm not wishing him well because every time I wish him well, he'll write me back, "Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. I really appreciate that." And then the next time he goes on some low-level live stream, because he's unprepared, he goes and attacks me. Go F yourself. He made the mistake, I guess. Jim Norton's on Twitter. In the comments, they say, "This is just like an Opie video, but in Syracuse." I said, "No, it's not." I said, "This video's god-awful." Of course, it had like 100,000 views or something, but it was basically Jimmy in a hoodie in cold weather in Syracuse talking about, "Oh my God, how does anybody live here? How does anybody live here? 100,000 views. Go F yourself. Go F yourself." Good morning, GH and Squad. Good morning, Greg Buell. John Leggy. Anthony said he was offered more than $300,000 for WABC, and he will do a solo show, so he doesn't have to pay anyone. You were only offered $40,000. Anthony's lying. He's simply lying. WABC does not have $300,000 for Anthony. But whatever, man. Whoa, what was that? Oh, my phone. A lot of people are asking, are you jealous that Anthony Cumia is back on radio? And my thought is this. After 11 years since Anthony ruined the best radio show in America, the Opie and Anthony show, he's the reason the show ended because he couldn't help it with his stupid racist crap. After 11 years of running a small-time media company into the ground where he was bleeding money, Anthony Cumia is making his triumphant return to part-time AM radio, and I'm supposed to be jealous? No, of course I'm not jealous. What year is this? Oh, my God, I'm making my triumphant return to CB Radio. I'm going to have a handle. My handle is going to be Greg Shells, and I'm going to be heard on Channel 19 as I make my triumphant return to CB Radio. Of course I'm not jealous. And he's lying. He's not making $300,000 at ABC, and there's not even a chance. Lies, 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 yeah. Lies, 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 yeah. Who did that? Lies, lies. Oh, the Thompson twins. Oh my God, that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut on your home of rock and roll. Whatever, man. We live in a world where people just make up shit. So what are you gonna do? But that's my thoughts on Anthony going back to radio after 11 years. 11 years after blowing up the Opie and Anthony show because he couldn't help himself with his race crap. After 11 years of a failed small-time media company, he's going back to AM radio, and I'm supposed to be jealous. No. And no. All right. Rob Saul said you can't save a damn thing from the ocean. You can't say. I don't know what that means. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I'm putting you in timeout. You just wrecked the flow of my live stream, not Jimmy Stewart. So you're in timeout. You never got a job offer at ABC. You are seething that Anthony's back at radio and embarrassing you. Ha ha ha. I just tell the truth. If you don't want to believe that I've had numerous offers to go to WABC, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. If you don't want to believe that, I'm not going to sit here and convince you. I know I'm telling the truth. The people around me know I'm telling the truth. My family knows I'm telling the truth. It just didn't make sense money-wise because, I'm in a position that I need to make money. I need to make a certain nut. That nut would be hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So when a radio station offers you, in my case, that was a guesstimate because what they really offered was a revenue share with the money they would make in advertising to do a couple hours a day. The offer was 10 a.m. to noon was the last offer. But when Imus was retiring, I actually talked to them. They didn't officially offer me Imus's job. We were talking about it though. And then the talks kind of broke down because the money just sucked. And then they're like, all right, it's a guy named Chaz. He's like, this was all told at the time on my podcast, Opie Radio. Why would I just say this years ago? I guess I said it years ago, knowing that eventually Anthony was going to get a job there. But Chaz calls me. He's like, oh, I just need you on this station. How about 10 a.m. to noon? You don't have to work Fridays. He goes, but and I go, at that time, I did say, all right. Because I was kind of thinking, it wouldn't be that bad to go on a radio station to promote the podcast I was doing with Carl Ruiz. I said, all right, Chaz, I want to hear more. He goes, all right, so it's 10 a.m. to noon, 4 days a week. We'd want you in studio, but you certainly could do a whole bunch of shows wherever you want. At that time, I was pretty much living at the beach house. And he goes, well, there's one problem. What's the problem, Chaz? That's why I know they're not offering Anthony $300,000. He's lying through his teeth. Chaz goes, we can't pay you. We can't pay you. I go, what do you mean? So he goes, what we can do is what's called a revenue share. So whatever money we bring in advertising-wise, we'll split with you. And so then we crunched the numbers, and at the time they were bringing in for that time slot somewhere just under about $100,000 in ad revenue. I would have to split half of that with WABC, and I wouldn't get all of that because I was only doing 2 hours of that time slot. Are you still following me? And then I would have to pay my agent. I would have to pay Carl. I would have to pay Vic. It absolutely wasn't worth it to me. So there you go. If you don't want to believe it, I don't care. I know I was offered gigs at WABC. Okay. Well, they wanted to talk. I actually showed the DM on my Twitter, but they actually wanted to talk. I got the DM around the 11th, and they wanted to talk to me. So they obviously wanted to talk to me around the same time they wanted to talk to Anthony. I'm sure they wanted to hire Anthony. So I'm not trying to say that they wanted to hire me first. I'm not going to say that at all, but it seems like they're looking for new talent over there. And they absolutely reached out to me as well. So maybe they were thinking like he does a few, I do a few, and then they're hoping maybe somehow, some way we would get together and do a few together. I don't know. I don't know what their plan was, but they absolutely reached out. I think it officially was February 11th. February 11th. Will Sirius regret firing Ant now that he's going to tell the ABC? Yeah, Sirius is going to regret firing Anthony 11 years ago. No, are you kidding me? No. I think Sirius doesn't regret firing Anthony. I think Sirius doesn't regret getting rid of me, because in the last for Anthony 11 years, for me, what was it, 7 or 8? We haven't set the radio world on fire. So I don't think Sirius is regretting Anthony's firing and getting rid of me. See, I tell you the honest stuff. I tell the truth here. Anyone else would be like, yeah, they're going to regret it. But I'm sitting here knowing, like, after 7 years, I haven't set the radio world on fire. So I guarantee they don't regret getting rid of me. And I would have to say the same thing with Anthony. Anthony didn't do much after leaving Sirius. He'll make believe his company was a success, but I know they try to hire me twice. Keith the Cop tried to hire me twice. He showed me the numbers. They were bleeding money. And then I tell the truth, and then people just get mad, man.
Hit the live on! God damn it, Doom.
Doom! Find God! Find God!
God damn it, Doom. You quit that. It's not happening for the last freaking time.